Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to discuss economy questions of Enforcement Officer 2016 question paper. So the notification was released in 2016 but exam was held in 2017, and from economy subject total of 12 questions have been asked that year. So let us start with the questions and we'll try to see or analyze the kind of questions UPSC has asked in this EPFO paper and what is the way forward. So the first question is, which one of the following is not a feature of monopolistic competition? So this question has been asked from microeconomics and it is asking the features of monopolistic competition. Now there are two things. First one is monopoly and then there is oligopoly. So this might be asked this time, what is meant by oligopoly. So here they are talking about monopolistic competition, the one which is not a feature. So the correct answer here is C. Product in the market is homogeneous. So if you see the explanation here, this has been taken from NCRT class 12th microeconomics, and it clearly says that there is free entry and exit of firms, but goods produced by them are not homogeneous. So it clearly says that the goods produced are not homogeneous. So here it is saying that the goods or the products in the market is homogeneous. So C is the answer here. Now, what is meant by monopolistic competition? It is basically means monopolistic competition occurs when an industry has many firms offering products that are similar but not identical. So let us take an example of soap industry. So we have soap of Lux or then Patanjali or many other brands. So the product is same, that is soap, the but they are not identical to each other. So that is what is called as monopolistic competition. So in this monopolistic competition, firms are free to start producing commodity or stop production. That is what is entry and exit is free in monopolistic competition. And these industries or these organizations do heavy advertising and marketing, which is seen commonly in these firms. So these are some of the features of monopolistic competition. So microeconomics is important for our EPFO examination, as we can see that questions have been asked from this. Now moving on to the second question, social cost is higher than economic cost because. So here answer is C, cost borne by bystanders is positive. Now first we have to understand what is meant by social cost. So social cost here means the total cost to the society. Total cost to society. Now what is total cost to society? Let us example means this cost includes basically private costs plus we have external costs as well. So let us take an example and try to understand what is social cost here. So example here we can take is of passive smoking. Suppose there is one person who is smoking a cigarette and some other person is standing adjacent to him or her, and we can say that that passive smoking is basically an externality. So the person who is smoking is getting affected, but the person who is standing adjacent to that smoker is also getting affected. Or we can say his or her health is also getting affected. So externality here means that cost or benefit borne by the bystander who is standing adjacent to that smoking person. So this is what is meant by social cost. And what is economic cost? Economic cost looks at the overall profits or losses of choosing one alternative over other. Suppose you have been given some choices and you are choosing one option over the other option. So that is what is economic cost. Sometimes economic cost is substituted by the word opportunity cost as well. So here social cost becomes higher for the other person, that is the bystander, and hence C is the correct answer here. Moving on to the third question, cess on coal at rupees 100 per ton is a type of. Now we know that cess is a basically kind of tax. So carbon tax is the correct answer here. So carbon tax in India is basically termed as clean energy cess. Clean energy cess. and this was started by government in 2010. And why it was started? Because this cess charged on coal is in line with the principle of polluter pays. So basically on this principle this cess was started, that whoever is using coal for producing any kind of or doing any kind of activities will have to pay cess or some kind of tax on it. So A is the correct answer here. Fourth question is, core inflation is different from headline inflation because, so understand first what is core inflation and headline inflation. So here is the screenshot again from the NCERT textbooks. So if we had read, we can easily answer this question. So A is the correct answer here. In headline inflation is basically the total inflation in an economy. Total inflation in an economy. It includes the price rise in food, fuel, and other commodities as well. So WPI, that is wholesale price index, is usually denotes what headline inflation is. Whereas what is core inflation? So in core inflation, we exclude the volatile food and fuel components. Exclude volatile fuel and food items. So that is what is asked here, that this core inflation ignores the articles of volatile nature in the price index. So even here also it is seen that they have talked about headline inflation and core inflation. So question is quite easy and it could have been easily answered. Next is, who among the following is the author of the book Choice of Techniques? So here the answer is Amartya Kumar Sen, the Nobel laureate from India, and he basically has talked about the problem of choice of production techniques. Problem of choice of production techniques faced by an underdeveloped country. This is what this book talks about, choice of techniques. So this question that is author and its book has been asked from economy point of view here, and it talks about the choice of production techniques or the dilemma faced by the underdeveloped countries. Production techniques. Moving on to the next question, which one of the following bodies has formulated National Student Startup Policy? So the exam was held in Feb 2017 and this was launched in November 2016. So we can say that the question is inspired from current affairs. So this startup policy basically was launched to create, or the aim of that startup policy was to create 1 lakh technology based startups. 1 lakh technology based startups. That is what was the aim of this national startup policy, and to also create a million employment opportunities within next 10 years, that is by 2025. Since this was launched in 2016, so they have kept the target of generating million employment opportunities by 2025. So AICT had actually launched this national student startup policy. So current affairs inspired question are also been asked in economy portion. Now the next question is, who among the following was chairman of working group for determining methodology for construction of producer price index in India 2014? So again here the answer is B. N. Goldar. D is the correct answer here. Again, we have to remember the name of important committees, who was the chairperson of that committee, and what was the objective, or why the committee was appointed, and what recommendations it gave. So this we have to prepare. And if you have prepared economy from Monal sir or any other faculty, you could have easily answered this question because he has covered this in his handout as well. That producers price index is one which covers both goods and services here. So D is the correct answer here. Next question is regarding schemes. So you will find many questions from economy which are based on government schemes. So which one of the following schemes is aimed at all-round development of adolescent girls in the age group of 11 to 18 years, and the aim of that scheme is making them self-reliant. So A is the correct answer here. Rajiv Gandhi scheme for empowerment of adolescent girls, and that was given the name Sabla. So this is the screenshot again from NCRT textbook, and if you have read it, you can could have easily answered this question. It is a centrally sponsored scheme which was approved by government on August 16, 2010, and the scheme is being implemented in 200 districts across the country. Now you can go through the objectives and features of this scheme in case the question is repeated in examination. Now the next question is, which one of the following countries is not a member of WTO? Now I have included this question is in economy because World Trade Organization is what we learned basically from economy point of view, and Iran is the correct answer here. Iran is not a member of WTO. All other options are correct. That is, they are members of WTO. So major bodies regarding economy or trade related bodies we have to prepare for this examination. The next question is, a stand-up enterprise can be established in. Now these schemes were launched at that time in 2015-16 by Government of India, stand-up enterprise, startup India, and all those things. So here, except farming sector, it can be established in manufacturing, service, and trading sector. So 2, 3, 4 is the correct answer here. And the scheme aims at promoting entrepreneurship among women and scheduled caste and tribes. The scheme is anchored by Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance. And now this question was again asked in same year. We'll see in a while that Stand Up India scheme facilitates bank loans between rupees 10 lakh and rupees 1 crore to at least one scheduled caste or scheduled tribe borrower and at least one woman borrower per bank branch for setting up a greenfield enterprise. So again, we have got the same question that year, that Stand Up India program envisages each bank branch to give loan between rupees 10 lakh to rupees 100 lakh to at least one SC/ST borrower and to at least one woman borrower. So this scheme is not for unemployed youth. So 1 and 2, that is D option, is the correct here. So again, we got two questions from a single scheme, that is Stand Up India, in that year EPFO paper. Even Nunal sir has also covered this in his handout, that it is applicable to SC/ST and women entrepreneurs, giving loans from 10 lakh to 1 crore in each scheduled commercial bank branch. So again, the government schemes become very important from economy point of view. And the remaining question is the last question for today. Startup hubs are agreed to be set up in. Now, the startup hubs were again in news in 2015 and 16, and government has launched these startup hubs in uh, triple ITs, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, NITs, and NIPR, that is National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education Research. So, in these institutions or organizations, government has launched these startup hubs, and basically the aim or objective of government was to strengthen the startup ecosystem in the country. So again, we can see that they are asking questions based on schemes which are in news at that time. So for 2023, we must be aware major schemes launched by government in 2021 and 2022. We might get question from 2021 or 22 schemes. So this is what is there in economy. We can see in all total 12 questions were asked from this subject, and what we get in civil services exam is different from what this is asked in EPFO examination, as this is a generalist examination and questions asked are quite basic in nature, and microeconomics is quite important for our examination. So that's all in this video. In next video, I will discuss the economic questions from 2020 paper, and we'll continue with other subjects as well. So if you have any doubts, so you can comment. I will try to address your doubts. Thank you.